So it's that time again for me to tell you all the details about the iPhone 16 Pro Max down to the normal iPhone 16, as we've had so many leaks come in. So, with only about 6 months to the launch of the iPhone 15's replacement, the iPhone 16 models, today what I want to do is I want to cover over all the key features we know for the 4 upcoming iPhone 16 models. And we'll also go over the iPhone 16 Pro Max release date and price too. So as I just said, it's incredible to think that we're about halfway through the time now from the iPhone 15 to the launch of the iPhone 16, 16 Plus, 16 Pro, 16 Pro Max, and even that possibility of an iPhone Ultra 2. As I mentioned already, there's been loads of leaks and rumours coming over the last 6 months, and I've decided to paint a bit of a picture of what that looks like for all 4 of the iPhone 16 models. So we're going to cover over all the main features that we know about. And first of all, we're going to start out with the normal iPhone 16.
So then, with the iPhone 16, the actual design of it's going to be very similar, unfortunately, to what we've had with the 12, 13, 14, and 15 series. It's going to be a 6.1 inch, but it's going to be a new OLED display with a resolution of 2532 by 1170. Also, sadly, it does look like we're still going to get a 60Hz refresh rate on the iPhone 16. It looks like it will be coming, though, a promotion on the iPhone 17, but this year, 60Hz. We will also be getting the action button added this time, and also the brand new spatial video button, what I've also covered about in previous videos. We'll also be getting 8GB of RAM this time, it's DDR5X. The storage will be starting at 128GB, going all the way up to 512GB, and this time Apple are actually going to be making an A18 chipset. There will be no normal A17 chipset being made, it's going to be a normal A18, what we've been told, and it'll have 4 efficiency cores, 2 performance cores, and 5 core GPU. It'll be an aluminum body or an aluminium body, dual camera setup, and that will have a 48 megapixel wide and a 12 megapixel ultra wide inside of it. And the battery at the moment, what we've been told, it's going to be a 3349 milliamp battery size, and the base model coming at 128GB will be starting at $799.
And with that done, let's now cover over the iPhone 16 Plus.
So the 16 Plus again will be very similar to the previous iPhone 15 Plus. So it'll be 6.78 inch display, new LED display, a resolution of 2778 by 1280. Again, sadly, still a 60Hz display refresh rate. That action button and also that new spatial video button. 8GB of RAM again, 128GB of storage going all the way up to 512. Again, that A18 chipset with the 4 core efficiency core, 2 performance cores, and that 5 core GPU. Aluminum body again, dual camera again, 48 megapixel wide, 12 megapixel ultra wide, and the battery size will be 4383 milliamp battery. And the base model of this will be the 128GB model, coming in at $899. So literally it is just a bigger version of the iPhone 16 model.
So moving on now, let's talk about the Pro range iPhone 16. So let's start out with the iPhone 16 Pro.
So the great news we've been told for the 16 Pro is we're going to be getting an updated design with a 6.3 inch display this time. Instead of a 6.1, it'll be a new OLED display, 460 ppi, 120Hz Pro motion, the action button, that brand new spatial video button too, 8GB of RAM again, 256GB storage starting at going all the way up to a possible 2TB this time. We'll also have the A18 Pro chipset, we'll have 4 efficiency cores, 2 performance cores, and a 6 core GPU. Again, it'll be a titanium body, but the triple camera setup this time will be a 48 megapixel ultra wide, and also will feature that 5 times zoom and LiDAR sensor. At the moment for battery, it's looking like it's going to be a 3274 milliamp battery size, and it will be the base model 256GB model coming in at $1,199.
Then finally, let's see then what the iPhone 16 Pro Max is going to give us this year.
So then, last iPhone, the iPhone 16 Pro Max, the most popular of them all. We're actually going to be getting a 6.9-inch new LED display this time. It's going to be larger than the 6.7-inch display, 460 ppi or pixels per inch. Again, a 120Hz ProMotion display. It'll have that action button. It'll also have that new spatial video button too that we spoke about. The 8GB of RAM again, 256GB storage, going all the way up to a possible 2TB storage option for the first time. Again, it will feature that A18 Pro chipset made up of 4 efficiency cores, 2 performance cores, and also a 6-core GPU. Titanium body all over again, and again that triple camera sensor of a 48 megapixel wide and also now an ultra wide 48 megapixel, and we may possibly see a 6-time or 10-time zoom this time, and this is the optical zoom, and it may go all the way up to a further amount in digital, LiDAR sensor, and then the battery size at the moment is 4,422 milliamp, and again that base model of the 256 gigabyte model becoming in at $1,299 US. Now the prices I will talk about a little bit more detail further on into this video too.
And with that, before I continue on, now is a good time more than ever to mention that all leaks and reports that you see here are not 100% proof that they will come true with the new iPhone. I can only present you what reports or information and renders that are out there. So basically, the renders that are being created here are based off those sort of leaks and reports that you are seeing out there. So the final iPhone may not look like this. However, if you are still watching this video, then you're as curious as I am in knowing what is being said about the next iPhone anyway. So then guys, if you're a person like me who likes to make videos, but you also like to add in a musical tune into your music, but sometimes you upload your video, say onto YouTube, and you may get a ban telling you that you're not allowed to use that music because of copyright reasons, well, there's a solution, and that is from Wondershare Filmora. Wondershare Filmora, what I'm using right here, has some fantastic AI features, and I want to show some of them to you today. So with AI music generator, you can pick the music for your needs. So for example, my mood here, I'm going to have my music as epic, and then I can choose my theme too, and I'm going to have this as a vlog, and then also I can pick my genre too, and I'm going to have this as beats, and I'm going to get 3 samples created here with this, and also I'm going to slow it down to about 30 seconds because that's all it's needed for my clip. Once I generate it, I can then sample them. And then with the tune I'm happy with, I can import this in and listen to it. And let me show you another feature. So there's also audio stretch. So say I actually had a music piece what was quite small and it wasn't long enough to fit my video. What we can actually do, we can use this awesome tool here at the top called audio stretch, and using AI, it will generate the rest of the song for this song here. So it will sound a bit different to what we had before. So have a listen. So if you want to test out Filmora for free right now, there is a link in the description of this video giving you all the information about it. So do check it out right now. Now for release date, as it's so early, we cannot fully predict the exact date of when it will be for the iPhone 16 Ultra. However, one thing we can be sure of, just like the iPhone 15, where we actually had the Wonderless event actually happening in September time, it is most likely it's going to be exactly the same for the iPhone 16, just like it was for the iPhone 14, the 13 and the 12 as well. Normally all of these events happen around September time unless something really big is happening in the world to prevent it from happening, just like in 2020 with COVID-19. But without this then, generally speaking, Apple like to do their event around about mid-September time or the earlier sort of mid-September time, and then normally release their sort of iPhones around about 10 days later. So at the moment, moment, predict that it'll probably be around about sort of mid-September, and then probably a week later, so in the early sort of 20s of the sort of September time, that you'll be able to get your hands on the brand new iPhone 16 models. But of course, as we get even closer to the actual release date, I'm sure more details will come in of the actual date of when it's going to be happening, and of course I will let you know when the exact date is going to be. So then, last of all, let's talk about the pricing for the iPhone 16 models. Now, I have talked about this in previous videos of mine, so if you've already watched that, then you know what I'm probably going to say. But anyway, moving on then. So the likes of the iPhone 15 Pro Max, for example, the 256GB model actually hasn't had its price increased at all over the last few years. In fact, the iPhone 14 Pro Max with 256GB was exactly the same price as this iPhone 15 Pro Max we have right here. And it's the same with the iPhone 15 Pro with 128GB, to say the iPhone 14 Pro with 128GB, the 13 Pro with 128GB. They've all been the same price in US dollars. But it does look like that this year, probably most likely, that the price is finally going to increase. And the main reason behind that is because of, the cost of living has gone up, materials has gone up, a huge amount over the last 18 months. And we've seen other phones out there, like from the Google Pixel to, like Samsung with the Galaxy S24 series, like the Ultra, for example. They've all increased in price over the last sort of year. And yet, Apple did not increase their prices at all. And technically speaking, if you went from, say, the original iPhone 10 that cost $999 and then go all the way up to the iPhone 15 Pro, which is also $999, it has not actually changed prices at all. And if anything, like I said, material costs have gone up and things like this. So if anything, Apple are probably making a bit less profit on each iPhone they sell in US dollars. Now, I know there's going to be people like myself in the UK and other people in Europe and all across the world. They're going, well, the iPhone's got more expensive for me. And yes, that is true. And unfortunately, the main reason behind that is because our currencies have probably got weaker, towards the US dollar. And also, there might be new import fee taxes that your country or currencies introduce. And that also does change the price too. So if you're going to go, oh, great, they're always increasing their prices in my country, unfortunately, is normally the case to do with, the conversion of your currency to the US dollar. Because at the end of the day, Apple needs to make the same amount of profit for every iPhone they sell wherever they are selling it in the world. But this time, it's probably more likely than not that the Apple are going to increase their prices across all of their models, even in the US, for the first time in ages, and we're going to have to probably pay out on that. And like I said, the main reason is because, like I said, material prices have gone up. It's not a nice thing, but it is the truth on that. So do expect, I'd probably say, probably about a $100 increase or $50 increase at the very least, probably on the 16 and the 16 Plus, and probably on the Pro models, probably more like a $100 increase we're going to see, coming in 2024 around September time when we see the release date of these new iPhones. But with that as well, guys, it's time to wrap up this video. So if you have enjoyed watching it, please do press the like button. Also, if you want to hear the latest Apple news, reviews, and comparisons, please also make sure you subscribe to this channel and also hit that notification bell. Until next time, guys, I'll see you really soon. Take care. Bye bye.